order. Call roll, please.
Mike Baird,
Here.
Johnny Bruce,
Here.
Ron Dillbeck,
Here.
Michael Douglas, Jennifer Fields,
Here.
Dwayne Gibson,
Here.
Jack Lynch.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes,
Before
sir.
we get started in, can I have the floor, please?
Yes, sir.
Guys, I've been thinking about this, and what I'd like to do is I'd like to put together a motion tonight for the FMS committee, along with the county commission, to recognize via proclamation with the signature of the FMS committee members and the county commissioners for Finance Director Jeff Marlowe, Deputy Director of Budget Analysis Richard Terry, Deputy Director of Purchasing Agent Lisa Bilbrey. Got it right, there we go. Deputy Director of General Labor Supervisor Karen Henniger for their leadership at the Department of Finance that has resulted in Campbell County receiving 3 consecutive clean audits. I'd like to make that into a motion, sir.
Okay, we have a second.
I'll second the motion.
Okay. Any discussion on that? Okay, vote please.
Mike Baird,
Yes.
Johnny Bruce,
Yes.
Ron Dillbeck,
Yes.
Jennifer Fields, Dwayne Gibson,
Yes.
Jack Lynch.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Very good thing to do. Okay, we'll continue our discussion. Our discussion seems to go on. And we're another recess, so here we are. And tonight we're going to ask, you wanted to ask some questions, maybe of the ones you needed, you wanted to ask more of, I guess. And since we got Eric and Brandon in here, I don't know any good way to choose. I'm gonna let Eric go first since he was interviewed first. Okay, you come up, Eric and Brandon. Thank you. I don't know how many questions you guys have. I have just a couple for each one.
Right.
Good evening, Eric. You ready?
Yep.
We'll start with this.
Yes, good to see you again. I do have a question. I actually have 2 questions. The first one I would like to ask, given the financial challenges facing our school system in Campbell County, what would be your priority the first 90 days to help stabilize the financial situation in the Campbell County school system?
Well, I think the first 90 days it would be important to meet with you and other leadership in the school finance department, get a good understanding of where you are financially. You know, your budget, your expenditures, revenue, what the trends have been, what kind of challenges you're expecting, known cost increases, you know, those, in a sense of what's coming. Because you really have to gather all that information, hopefully put together some kind of strategy in terms of going forward to the fiscal year 27 budget. You know, what are our projections for that budget overall, for the school budget, revenues, expenditures? You know, you balance the budget or not? What's the gap? Do you have enough reserves to fund that? Do you want to do that? And then look at what options you have for, you know, not only balancing that budget for fiscal year 27, but hopefully putting together a financial plan for the next 4 years, 5 years, kind of project now where you think you might want to be, and what are their options for balancing that budget and funding the things you need to fund.
My next question, do you want me to ask both
Sure.
together? Okay. So my next question, I know as director of schools, I meet with superintendents in the East Region periodically, monthly, and then we meet statewide. I know finance directors also have meetings like that. In your meetings, Paul, you served in Claiborne County. How closely have you worked with Mr. Marlowe and in your meetings? And
I have never met Mr. Marlowe.
okay.
I did, when I started, one of the things I did was make sure I knew who were the other finance directors in surrounding counties, particularly Act 81 counties too, in the eastern region. So if I had questions, I could send them an email, call them, reach out to them to get information, because obviously, being new to Tennessee, county government in Tennessee, I wanted to, rely on other people's experience and knowledge to help me out. It's like, okay, you're a finance director, and I need to act in Anyway County, so am I. What would you do with this, or do you know any information on how to address this issue, what are the rules on this? I did email him several times, I know I got some responses from him, but there's a quarterly meeting for finance directors in the East region that's held down in Knoxville.
Yes.
And of course Caldwell's part of that. I've been to 3 or 4 of those, I try to attend those regularly, I don't think I ever met him at one of those.
Okay.
And some of the other trainings and other meetings I've been in, I don't think I've met him.
I'm chair of the East Region Superintendent Study Council. So I know how important those meetings are, and it's a great networking space. So I just wondered if you had the opportunity to work with him in any.
No, I think it's a great opportunity to network in those kind of groups. You get together with your peers, you're all facing the same kind of issues. A lot of it's getting, recent information on upcoming changes in accounting standards, or like I know they talked about, with the opioid settlement and other things like that, where you get some more information with the recent disaster in some of the counties further south. It's good to get their information in terms of how all that process went with FEMA, even though we didn't have to deal with it in Clayton County directly. And it's good to get that, and that's the kind of networking information you get, and then just make good contacts with those other finance directors. So if you're running into a question, just want to get their input, you can reach out to them again. It's very important.
Well, thank you very much. You answered both my questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dwight,
Good to see you again.
good nice to see you.
So I feel like the county's been a pretty open book with this search and
Yeah.
what we expect and things like that. If selected as the director of schools, what would you need from this body?
We're not
Director
I
of
mean,
finance.
I don't think you're recruiting for that, but
No.
it's something to share for everybody.
But what would you need from this body to be successful in your job?
Well, I think that will be one of the things I'd want to talk to the financial management committee about is what is your role currently? What is your relationship? Is the chair of the financial management committee really driving the agenda, the meetings? What information or support do you want to get from the finance director? What would like to get it like? If there's issues coming up, like you had mentioned at the last meeting, like ambulance and outsourcing and that would be something that if you wanted to look at that as a committee, you'd say, here's something we want to look at, here's a directive, gather some information or do some analysis, bring a report back to us. But I think the support I'd want is that we could be very collaborative on putting together policies that are in the best interest of the county, and the residents and businesses of the county, and be very open and transparent about the financial condition of the county and policy issues going forward. With schools is a good example. If there's going to be financial challenges facing the school, well, the financial management committee won't be directly involved. The county is involved because you adopt the tax rate for the schools. So I think there'd be a lot of discussion there and transparency about how do you want to approach it, what do you want to look at, what are our options. It's really, I think, a partnership. The finance director reports to the financial management committee. So I'm your employee, and I will go out and do the things you want me to go out and do in terms of looking at policies or issues or gathering data. And if you basically say, hey, we want you to go out and do some research on something or give us regular reports on these things, that's the things I would want to do. But it needs to be a mutually collaborative relationship.
Thank you.
Mr. Gibson?
I'm good.
Mr. Bruce?
Good.
Vaughn?
I think my questions, well, first of all, thank you for being here tonight. It's been a kind of mind-opening experience dealing with you and Mr. Walters. And it's been learning from me a little bit on some of the questions that you've answered. But my concern is the same as Jennifer and Dwayne. County, moving the county forward, keep it moving forward, finding revenue sources. As a highway superintendent, I'm always looking out more money for paving roads.
Right.
And it's a challenge. And we've been very fortunate and lucky over the past 5, 6, 8 years to be able to pave more roads. And I want to keep the county moving forward. That's my concern, you know. And I would be probably calling, asking, wanting to sit down and meet with you, discuss things, what do you think, you know, just try to work everything out and try to, you know, get more money in the revenue source for the highway department.
Yeah, and I think it'll be important coming in to meet with all the departments, not just the highway department. I know, when I started at Claiborne County, one of the things I did was meet with the landfill manager, well, the landfill, had to give me the whole tour of their facility and everything, and talk about what issues and dealing with challenges. 'Cause I don't know if you're familiar with what's going on in Claiborne County with the landfill, but our current landfill's closing. We're trying to get a new one open, but we're waiting to hear back from TDEC on whether they're gonna have that approval. But I think going out, you know, with the department, seeing their operation, getting to know the extent of everything they do in their operations and the challenges they're facing helps, because in that situation, you know, coming into the fiscal year 26 budget, we had to budget for a significant increase in waste disposal costs, potentially, depending what happens with that. But we need to be prepared for that and understand that and plan for it in advance. Unfortunately for counties, we are creatures of the state. We only have the authority the state gives us. So they can be very restrictive on the kind of revenues you get, how much you can increase it, what you can use it for. And a recent example of that was the mineral severance tax. You know, assuming you had probably went with the increase and adopted that, but there they said, oh, you can only go up this amount, and it has to be used for highways, which is good for highways. Right? So the state's helping out a little bit. But that's just a good example of a lot of times, it's not something necessarily within the authority of the county to do something. We have to lobby the state to make some changes in state legislation, state law. You give us more flexibility at a local level. And I think that would be something that, working with the Financial Management Committee and Commission, we want to be able to identify those things and work on them. Like, where do we need to do some lobbying or work through the lobbying organizations to give them information and be supportive of changes they're trying to push and get through. That will be beneficial to all counties.
Thank you.
I do have one more question.
Okay.
Since he started talking. Do you work with the lobbying organizations currently? I mean, you're kinda
Not directly, like, you know, there's Mayor's Association, County Commission Association, Highway Association, those are the ones that are more doing the lobbying and things. But I think working with like CTAS, or even the Comptroller's Office, to the extent you can have conversations with them about, it would be good to see a change in this, or, you know, this might be a better way of approaching that, you know, with something, you know, every little thing you can do to try to put it in their ear, because they're always looking at that stuff too. I mean, CTAS is very supportive of counties, tries to help out where they can, and I think the Comptroller, is my experience, unfortunately, had a little more involvement with the Comptroller's Office than I wanted to the first 2 years, because the County Commission adopted their budget in August, the first 2 years I was there. So the first year, the first budget I was involved in, you know, they adopted the appropriations in May, but they didn't adopt the tax rate till August. So Mayor and I reached out to the Comptroller, said, can you come down and talk to the commission, tell them why it's important to get the budget adopted. But I know just working with the Comptroller and the discussions with them, they're very supportive and helpful too, and I think they're open to, you know, if there's issues that can be helpful to counties, at least working with us to try to move that stuff forward, or at least highlight that from the legislature.
That's what I've got, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Bailey. Eric, I have a couple of questions that they're not detailed in that way, I guess. The CCFO,
Yeah, Certified County Finance Officer?
yes, that you happen to have, and that's from CPAS, as I
Yes,
understand.
that's your CTAS. It's a-
And it is developed, as I understand, by the Comptroller of the Treasurer.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, and I don't know if you know the answer, because I couldn't find it,
Yeah.
how many directors in the state have that designation at this point?
Well, through the state, I don't know. One of the things I did was I did a survey of other Act 81 finance directors and departments to get information like that, so that's put together some comparative information. A lot of the finance directors, I know under Act 81 have that, or an equivalent or something similar, but they don't all have that. I know it's something that the Comptroller's Office, it's a joint program to the Comptroller and the CTAS.
Yes.
You know, and that's something they push really strong, not just the finance director, but they would say probably as many people use you can in your county, who, where it might make sense to go through that program and get that designation. I think it's extremely useful and helpful program, especially for me, because I was coming from outside of Tennessee. So it helped a lot in terms of, we spoke a lot about state laws and regulations and stuff, but helped me to get up to speed on a lot of stuff dealing with county government. But I think for anybody in the finance department, that'd probably be a good program to go through.
Okay. And I was looking also, besides that, I guess, I was kind of looking through your letter, the highest level of non-political position you reached with Milwaukee City, I guess, and you handle a $1.6 billion budget.
Yeah, our office was responsible for that.
And you were responsible for. And of course, we talked about your family and your wife and so on and so forth. Coming to Claiborne County, that had to be very different. I was wondering about your adaptability to that.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably been one of the biggest changes in my life. I was born and raised in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Brookfield. And pretty much, other than those 3 years working in Madison, Wisconsin with the state, I was pretty much in the Milwaukee area my whole life. My parents are there, I have 2 brothers there, various nieces there, aunts and uncles. So it was a difficult move to leave all that and come down here. And also, I was at the city of Milwaukee, where, I pretty much came in as entry-level budget analyst and kind of worked my way up to essentially get to be budget director. I mean, you work your way up to pretty much as far as you're gonna go into an organization. I was the expert on the budget process, training all staff who came there, providing support to the budget director, someone relied on in that government for a lot of things, working with the mayor's office, working with the county council. It's difficult to change that and go somewhere, start brand new. So I think, measured by that, the fact that I'm still here, I still survived, I'm dead.
You survived both. Yeah. That's all I have, Eric. I appreciate you taking the time to come in today, give us a little bit more information. I appreciate everything. If you'd like to step out.
Ask him if he has any questions for us.
I'm sorry. Do you have any other questions?
Yeah, and I didn't know if you
Since
wanted
we asked
to
you.
talk to us both and then for questions, but I guess just following up on some of the stuff we talked about before, what are the most important qualities that you're looking for in a finance director?
I can say those, or you can have you guys want to answer that. Go ahead. I'm looking for the best qualified person, period, which, I always say you always look at the education, the experience, and the ability to adapt to situations and being able to get along with people. That's my short list, I guess, on hiring anybody. I want you to lead us in the right direction. Keep us all legal, if you will. That's important. I think that CTAS thing is very important there.
Yeah.
And for that reason. And always don't surprise us. I just kind of open communications. I know that's very important, Jennifer. She needs more information daily or weekly. I don't know how she needs it weekly, I guess.
Daily.
Hourly.
Daily, especially with the federal budget.
Sometimes it might be hourly.
Yeah.
But, we're looking for that person that can pull that all together.
Can I add something to it?
Go ahead. I was hoping.
Yeah, me personally, obviously we have a good finance department, but I want somebody that's gonna come in and say, okay, we can save money here, even though it's not what we've always done. We can save money here, we can do it, it's not part of the good old buddy system. Even if it makes some people mad, hey, it makes people mad. But if it can make change, even if like I said, it's not the most popular decision, like I said, we've got a great finance department, so I think it'd be a smooth transition. to whoever, but like I said, there's always, I mean, anybody can find a flaw. I mean, that's just, nobody's perfect. So if it means we can find $100,000 for Ron for the roads,
He lit up
It might
like
give a
Christmas
mile.
tree, I want you to know that.
they might give him a mile, maybe, or 500 feet, but it's something in that nature is kind of what I would like to see.
Okay.
And if you were in my position, interviewing for this position, what advice would you give me?
Mayor, I think you got this.
I'm not sure I heard the question.
Well, if you're in this position I am, what advice would you have for someone seeking this position?
What, my advice to you, or your advice, my advice to you? Well, I always say trust in the Lord first, but, do your job, do it well. I don't think you have any problem, honestly. Be forthcoming in your dealings. Manage it correctly, manage the money correctly. We're not gonna micromanage you, I promise you, because I won't do it. So, I think that's, that's about the best I can say on that problem.
And I did want to ask, because you brought it up, financial management committee, what is the relationship currently, and how have you handled that with the finance director, the finance department?
I think we have a good relationship as far as the finance committee overall. I mean, since I've been here, we've never had any issues as far as that goes.
The thing about it, come September, we will be off the FMS. You'll have 4
You
new
move on.
commissioners. We change every year, so.
Right.
Jennifer, Jack, and Ron are permanent members, but the commission rotates out by every September.
All right. And I think that's pretty much everything for now.
Okay, I'm sorry I stepped up, I didn't try to end it quickly, I
Oh,
just
no.
forgot to do that. We had done that last time, hadn't we? Okay. Eric?
All right. Well,
Thank you so much, we'll be with you in just a bit. Right, Josh, you still got to get with Randy, Oh. Okay, Brandon, as I said earlier, this is not real, this is very informal.
Yes, sir.
I hope it is. And we have some questions, I think, each one of us, some questions, a couple of questions, just, we'll talk about some things. I have two, I think, for you. And Jennifer, would you like to start?
I will begin. I know you work with Knox County School System.
Mm-hmm.
And Knox County is quite a bit different than Campbell County. I know they do not face the budget shortfalls that we do in Campbell County. I know they have with their federal funds, but we faced a huge deficit this year, $2 million deficit. Coming into this position, what would be your top priorities the first 90 days to address the finance situation within the school system?
Well, I think it would be I mean, I know that also is a hot button, but I think you have to look at the austerity measures that might have to be taken. I mean, the funding is what the funding is right now, and the finance director is not, I don't think, allowed to raise taxes if I do his job. Okay, then, as far as cutting back what positions, but people never like to talk about that, but I mean, that would be, where do you cut? I mean, that would be the first things, and I've not studied it well enough to know where you would have to cut. But, and I don't know what other kind of moves that can be made, but I know people have been trying to make them. I mean, I know it's like, everyone's been working hard at it, but I just don't know what can be moved, and then the next thing is you have to look at what might have to be cut.
That's the only question.
As I asked Mr. Pearson, I asked you the same question. You know, if you were voted as the finance director, you know, we've been a pretty open book as far as what we want out of a finance director. What can we do to help you succeed as a finance director?
I feel like it is already set up pretty well for success. I mean, again, you made the motion earlier on the clean audits. I feel like that's the biggest part of the position, is to ensure that, you know, you're in compliance with everything and the comptroller's not breathing down your neck. But aside from that, you get back into budgeting. I would say I would want to work with commission, work with everyone in like all the different offices about how to, sorry, I've lost my train. To get the budget for the upcoming year. I mean, it's you go right out of audit season into budget season, and I don't know where things can be improved, and but that would be the first thing I would want commission to help bring me up to speed, basically, to be involved. You know, to be involved as much as possible to know what needs to be done and to see what we can do to bridge the gaps that we have.
That's all I've got, Mr. Chairman.
That's all. Mr. Gibbs?
I'm good.
Mr. Bruce?
I'm fine, thank you.
Ron?
Well, my question's kind of already been answered already. I guess my question is, are you willing to sit down and work with each department head to find different resources, avenues, to find more money for?
Willing to do whatever it takes. And again, that's one of those things where it's not something I can step right in and just start doing, but I still have never really, because I did that for 10 years, I've never understood why we don't pull in more federal funding, more competitive grant funding that's out there, and I know it's for places like Campbell County. It's just, I mean, again, I've not really dove deep into it, but I feel like unless commission wants to raise taxes, or, you know, unless something like that happens, then if you want more funding, you have to find somewhere to get it. I feel like that would be the most obvious, but that's, again, not one of those things that you can just flip a switch and get money immediately. But yeah, I would want to work with everybody and just to see what could be done. Like you said, work as a team. I know that's kind of cliche, but that's, I mean, that's what you need.
Well, my concern is the county, and the highway department is in my priority also. When I look at the highway department, I look at it as the county. It's all about helping the county.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Okay. Brandon, you know, you said the other night that when you work for Mississippi State, that you, they expect you to get more degrees, I guess you did. And my professors at UT did too, so on and so forth, I understand that. But I want to know, for the committee's thoughts, you got BS in accounting, political science, then you got masters in accounting, and you got an MBA. You care tell us what the MBA denotes? I know this, but I want to make sure the public does.
It's I mean, it's honestly, it's a scaled up version of the business degree, and you get a little bit more down in the weeds on things. There's a lot more group work. Nowadays, they're starting to do more simulations on taking a business that, you know, introducing a new product line, how you do it, how you decide what to do. But also, I think those have gotten to where with AI now, they can't hardly get away with doing those because kids are just plugging it in and getting the answers. But it's more about teamwork and learning about business ethics, and the tone at the top is, I mean, that's the big thing. You'll hear it over and over and over, but it's true. The tone at the top is what sets the mood or the culture of any entity, not just businesses, of government, of anything. It's what is leadership, what are their ethics, and how do they back that up? And that's what the MBA is, honestly, the biggest part of that was learning about the tone at the top.
That's what I was afraid maybe the public didn't know, or people may not know what the MBA is. I want to make sure that you Very. So would you be willing to administrate any grants for us?
Absolutely. Again, that's another thing though, where you gotta look at we talked about the maintenance of effort, but it's the supplanting of funds. You gotta watch how much of the time and effort is spent on that. You have to basically break out all the time and effort very meticulously to see who's getting paid for what. But yes, absolutely. I mean, that would be something, but again, it's not a turnkey thing. It takes time, and honestly, a lot of times you have to bring in other people. Usually it's a revolving door of which administration's in and out. Whoever's out, they're the ones out there writing the grants because they know what's coming down the pike. And that's a lot of times you have to get a little bit of help, but I've found that it's well worth it, and especially if you can find the right project with the sheriff's office, with roads, with anything. Like, you have to find the right fit. Don't just get money to get money, because that can blow up in your face. So it's
I believe sheriff's office has got $1 million grants this year.
There's a lot of that out there. There's a lot of rehabilitation type funds out there. But you have to have the infrastructure and the policies in place so that you're capable of managing the funds that you get, so.
I was thinking they could use some guys maybe to help with those things, because they're very important, that they keep taxes low and they bring in the law. Anyway, that's all I have, Brandon. So, you got any questions for us?
Not at this point, not from the other night. I think I'm pretty well set right now.
Okay. Yeah, step back.
Gotcha.
Appreciate you.
Thank you all.
We'll see you in Tuesday. Okay, so this committee is up to this committee to decide where we go from here. You have heard the best of the 23 candidates. We interviewed some great candidates here. We asked to know more about a couple. We did that. So at this point, where does this
Can I
committee
ask a
stand?
question?
Yes, sir.
Did you just do a background check on?
No, sir, I'll do that. Yeah, if I will pay for 5 or 6 or 10.
So it's pending, what's the background check?
Yes, which
And I'm sure they're legit.
I think they are, and I think that everyone that we even talked to has already been checked within the last couple of years. So I'm not really worried about that, but I mean, it is an issue, and we did think of this.
Things can pop up.
They sure can. You never know.
Mayor,
Yeah.
is it a state law for county government to have background checks conducted? I know it is the school system.
Okay, so I entertain whatever this committee determines is the thing to do at this time.
As far as the motion as to who we want to hire.
If you want to do that tonight. If you're prepared to do that, we will take, somebody will make a motion for one or the other, we'll vote on it, is that okay? And then we'll take the second one, if that one doesn't get the joint. Or we'll vote both of them, it does not matter.
The previous time we voted by paper.
No, this is a real vote.
Okay, I understand.
This is on the record. Okay. We've just been discussing everything else in my mind.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that we hire Eric Pearson as new finance director.
Okay, I need a second before discussion.
I'll second the motion.
Okay. So, any discussion on there? Okay. Would anybody like to nominate anybody else?
I think you've got a motion and a second, you have to just vote.
We'll vote that up or down. Has to have the majority. Okay. Call roll. We're voting on Eric Pearson.
Dwayne Barry,
Yes.
Johnny Bruce,
Yes.
Ron Dillbeck,
No.
Jennifer Fields,
Yes.
Dwayne Gibson,
Yes.
Jack Lynch.
Yes.
It's 5 yes, 1 no.
So we will welcome, Eric as our finance director-elect. If he will accept the salary. Okay, so let's talk about salary.
What was the range that we?
The range was 90, I have to look it up. I think it was 95 to 110. That sound, is that right?
I think that's correct.
Yeah, 95 to 110. I haven't figured in my head, but that's, I don't want to do it unless one of you want to take it first.
I've got a figure as well, but.
I do too.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Is this, is money that we're actually, or is going to actually vote on, is that going to be approved by the county commission? or
We
is that
will,
budgeted
we will
already?
have to do a budget amendment, yeah, and go on with commission. Is that correct? I think it is. We have, by law, we have the,
And does the county commission have to ratify?
No.
They do not.
if, to hire.
To hire, they don't, to
This-
fire, they do?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
It takes both bodies to fire.
And
It takes
you-
one body to
And
hire.
I'm asking a lot of questions.
No.
It's gonna come up before it's over with anyway. Have you set protocol for so many days that you evaluate this person?
Yes.
So you-
Well, we haven't, we're going to,
Okay.
we've already talked
Sorry,
this
stepping the
out.
gun.
I have wrote down what I think. Anybody, just one of you like to throw out what you got?
Sure. I'm like, this is what I was thinking, set the salary at 100,000. After the first year, go to 105 if they get a good evaluation. And then after that, place them, give them longevity and everything's like a county employee. But you start at 100,000 at 100, after that first year, then you bump to 105.
100 is what I had in my mind.
I also had 100, I was thinking, if you want to, either that or a bonus, I would rather add to the salary.
Another question.
I think the other board for 6 months, though, would like to go 6 months instead of a year for evaluation. But I mean, I'll go either way.
Well, if you do a 6-month evaluation, you still gotta wait for the year to do the you do
Oh,
a
you get it,
$5,000
yeah.
raise.
Okay.
You couldn't give it to them 6 months.
Because the budget's already there. Okay. Chris?
Campbell County recognizes and finances here, other government entities that comes to work for us
Yes.
for the longevity.
Yes.
If he's got 3 years, and I don't know if it goes outside of state lines, who's know that?
I think it's.
Does it go outside of state lines? It does not. So it's inside the state.
Yeah.
I thought.
TCRS, right?
TCRS is what I
So they get that
thought.
longevity based on. We've hired employees, I think Tabitha was one of them, we worked for the state, and she got, I think, 8 or 10 years longevity. So, just throwing little tidbits in.
Okay. You good with the year? Make a motion.
Okay, I make a motion that we set the salary at 100,000. And at the end of the first year, if you guys want to do 2 evaluations, 6 month and a year, Ron, Jennifer, Jack, you 3 will be here when we're gone, so. And you don't want
Would it be 100,000 with longevity?
to, no.
No.
He wouldn't get the longevity until after the first year.
Everything.
I don't think that would be right.
I think you got it from the get-go.
I think your longevity is built in that first year if you accept it. Am I correct?
Yeah.
All longevity.
And honestly, help me shut up, is what I'm saying. If you're gonna set it at 100,000, don't worry about the longevity. I just throw that in there and let you know that there's, whatever you do, there's a longevity cost going to play.
Okay.
I would like to add that when we prepare the evaluation tool, that he's given that as soon as possible, so he has a fair chance to
Yes.
fulfill his,
You've
expectations.
been there and done that, haven't you?
Yes, I get mine 2 months before I'm expected to, turn it in, so.
Gotcha, okay. I agree.
I think, by law, wouldn't we be, since every other employee is based on longevity, wouldn't we have to include his on longevity?
No, I mean, Karen's probably answered, I mean, it's whatever the policy is, it would
Is
be
that the
involved.
policy?
Yeah.
Police, I mean,
Alicia, is that the policy?
Yes, you have to recognize
Yeah.
the years.
Okay.
Automatic.
So how many years you got, 3 years, whatever?
So,
And that would be on top of the base salary.
Right.
On top of the 100,000, which would be.
what is that amount, Alicia?
250 a year?
$239 a year.
239?
I would do 100,000 plus longevity. You wanna make that motion? Or you wanna make that motion?
sure, I'll make the motion, yeah. And on the evaluation, do you guys want to do it in 6 months? And then come back and do another one in?
Jennifer, since you've lived through this, is this 6 months is a reasonable time, or do you think we need to wait until the end of 1 year to evaluate?
I think that you should wait until the end of the year. I mean, you can do a mid-year check-in, but I would wait until the end of the year.
Okay, I defer to you on that, because you lived through it.
And I know, I feel like we extend that courtesy to our school teachers. I mean, you need to give
Yes.
someone an entire year, because you can check in, make recommendations if they need to make improvements in an area, and then that is further proof of how well they fulfilled the expectations of their evaluation, if they've made those changes and adjustments for improvement.
Okay.
Okay, so 100,000 is the salary plus longevity, with the evaluation coming at the end of the first year. If they get a good evaluation, do we bump the salary at that point 5,000? Or do
I'm
you leave it
okay
alone?
with that. You good with that? Let's just vote and see. Is that a motion?
Yeah.
Well, I'll add one more thing.
Okay.
In the evaluation, the rubric or indicators need to say what justifies that $5,000 raise.
Yes.
So that expectation needs to be put in there. You just don't get
But
to the
like,
end of it
that
and
needs to
say.
be done about 6 months after, so we have time to, okay, and you can help us with that, can't you? Appreciate that. Okay.
Lisa, you have a, you go back over again.
Well, the best I can here.
Okay.
So, pay's gonna be $100,000 plus longevity. And at the end of the first year, an evaluation, will be made. It's a good evaluation, will increase his pay by $105,000, correct?
Sounds right.
You can say 105 plus longevity, yes,
Well-
longevity
Now
again.
that begins anyway.
And longevity continues on regardless.
Regardless.
Okay. And full, whatever full benefits are.
Okay?
Needs a second.
Second.
Vote.
Baird, Dwayne, did you?
Yeah.
Okay. Ready to vote?
Yep.
All right. Dwayne Baird,
Yes.
Johnny Bruce.
Yes.
Ron Dillbeck,
Yes.
Jennifer Fields,
Yes.
Dwayne Gibson,
Yes.
Jack Lynch.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, let's bring this guy in and see if he'll accept it.
We need to,
There you
do
go.
we need to bring, or how we need to do this?
That's Franklin here, I'll
Both
tell.
of them?
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
tell. Josh, you here, get the door.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, you gave me that information, I wrote it down. We, thank both of you for doing this, coming back in the second round. More questions, because I guess we didn't know you as well as we know everybody. But anyway, it's a great thing that you did take part in this. The committee has decided that we will offer the job to Eric. Eric, we can offer you the job of finance director. It will start out being called interim finance director until such time as you take it. Okay, if you accept this. Come on up. So your years at Clayton County, if that's 3, and what have you got, you know, what you will have with us, basically. So that would be added on there also. You'll be eligible for full benefits. This all pending a background check. And that's understandable, I guess. So I guess we need to know, do you accept or decline?
Yes, I'll accept. I do want to, of course, get that in writing, have all the specifics included, the salary, benefits, all that detail, so I can review that as well.
It is in the record, and we've already written it, that was made in form of motion, the offer, and it is in writing. It will be published, whatever, and signed by Todd Nance, or did it go through there? I sign it, yes. I sign it, and then I think Todd Nance officially puts a county seal on it, but that's in writing, that's the form law.
So I want to get that, I'll be able to do that. So, yeah, I'll talk with my wife, but for sure we're on the same page.
That's exactly what the committee decided, so we think.
Start running.
Start Monday.
Well, and I think we will have to, like I said, I want to get all that in writing, be able to take a look at it, review it.
Okay.
We'll have to talk about start date. So all that
We can
work.
do, I mean, I don't know how much you need to clean up the Clayton County. It may take you a month or whatever,
Right.
and at whatever
And
day.
then would that be something that you guys would be open to part-time?
That you come in and.
Yeah. And that will probably be
So,
coming in before our actual start date to the extent that I can.
Yeah, it'll be okay. Me, is it okay with that? Sure.
I had one other question.
Okay.
This might be more for finance department. Because right now, did you say you guys are using NextGen? Are you, because the support for that is ending after the end of this, so you guys planning to move to next year? Okay. Just wanted to make sure. That's all. This is what I use currently, so I think it's a little bit better.
So I'll email you a copy when it.
Yeah,
goes
if you can
through.
send me a copy of that,
Okay.
and then I will give that to you. See what's
Okay.
possible formally on that.
Okay, you write a formal letter back if you would. We
So,
appreciate
like I
it.
said, let's talk about start date, I'll have to do my resignation letter.
Yeah, you need to find out what date you can start, you know,
Mhm.
if you think you can be out of there by,
Joe Brooks.
Joe Brooks take care of it, he knows how to do
Yes.
it. I don't know about that.
No, I mean,
Just let us know.
Joe knows that I was applying.
Oh, I've talked to Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's aware of that.
I've talked to about everybody.
He won't be surprised, he'll be disappointed, but he won't be surprised.
Yeah, he's the one, he told me the story actually, and, he recommended you highly. So the chairman of the school board, several other people.
Well, thank you, appreciate the opportunity, look forward to working with you. And I'm gonna agree with you, what I wanna do is
That's what we're looking for. Motion?
Motion adjourned.
Adjourned.